Welcome to the Performance Tips Podcast. This is podcast number 1, Crisp Writing. I am Marc Lochbaum, professor. My podcast is part of my Best 7 platform that frames my teaching and consulting. Besides links to this podcast, I'm easy to find in our web-based world. Just type in my name. As a quick reminder, My Best 7 is based on the 7 success traits of elite performers. Those traits, in the fewest, most accurate words, are your body, ability to learn, rate of improvement, training attitude, personality, use of psychological skills, and skill sets. Crisp writing falls into trait 7, your skill sets. Elite writers write crisply. Let's explore some proven crisp writing performance tips, and at the end I will share what I believe to be a productive writing exercise. Tip 1. With the same information, fewer words are better than lots of words. This tip does not mean books or essays should be a few words. For instance, I was born, I lived, and I died would be less than a stellar autobiography. Tip 1 means you should decide whether all of your words are necessary or whether some of your words are vague generalities or needless adjectives. For instance, if I had a 32-word autobiography, here is one possibility. Marc was born in 1969. He went to school for a long time. He loved and still loves playing sports. Last, he is a professor and will probably die as a professor. Now, I could get more out of the 32-word autobiography if I wrote this. Born in 1969, Marc attended school, always engages in sports, and is a professor until his death. This is only 17 words with the same information as the 32-word autobiography. I still have 15 words left. Thus, tip 1, fewer words are better than lots of words, worked. Tip 2. Find word-limited or page-limited submissions. If you are my student, you know I greatly help with tip 2 with word-limited essays. Word limits along with tip 1 greatly help move wordy writing to crisp writing. When I was young, there were not computers. I did not go to college with a computer. I recall growing up writing in lined notebooks. Now with digital writing, being wordy is easy because correcting is nearly done for you. Without a way besides starting over to make corrections, having to actually handwrite or type made one not be wordy. I'm a McGraw-Hill higher education author. My ebook, Connect Active 3.0, is a massive work. After trial and error, it seemed chapters of 17,000 words worked best. It could be more, I can't remember. It was hard to keep track of the count with tables and figures. Regardless of the count, I wrote 22 such chapters along with taking photos, videos, and helping with the other 20 chapters. There had to be a chapter word limit or I'd never finished. Twitter has it right, 140 characters and done. The key with tip 2, as with my 32-word autobiography, is choosing the best word when limits exist. Tip 3. Understanding telling ourselves a story of any kind is most likely excessively wordy and a mix of nonfiction and fiction. I've been reading Stephen King's book, published 20 years ago, on writing. His boss for the local newspaper told him, when we tell ourselves the story we wish to get on paper, we tell ourselves the story we wish to get on paper while we are writing it. That story at some point must go out to others. Once it does, it better be right as we know it because criticism is right around the corner. I play golf daily unless overseas or my home course is closed. I generally play by myself. Thus, I talk to myself for hours. I tell myself all sorts of stories about my day, recent events, as well as childhood events, and whatever else comes into my consciousness. Those stories are incredibly wordy. Accuracy makes no difference as I'm talking to myself. Daily, wordy, mind musings, devoid of reality check, hurt the writing process. I guarantee you they do. I doubt I'm alone. I doubt I'm alone in talking to myself. So when you write, remember to tell yourself the less wordy and non-fictional version of your story. If you're writing fiction, then certainly tell yourself the less wordy fictional version. In summary, my 3 tips for crisp writing in one sentence is: write fewer words within a word limit, while understanding talking to yourself does not help with crisp writing. The last part of this podcast concerns a writing exercise. Here it is. Write a 120-word autobiography. Edit your 120-word autobiography to 80 words with all the original information included. Now take those 80 words and write another 40 to get back to the 120 maximum with all new information. Read your final 120-word autobiography to your mom or dad. Ask for an accuracy rating. Use this formula for all your written works. If you found this podcast helpful, share it with a friend or even an enemy. Perhaps your enemy will become your friend. For more performance tips across the 7 success traits, feel free to subscribe and have a bell ring at you on whatever platform you heard this podcast. As Ed Miley says on his program, tons of great proven advice, no hidden secrets, and the best price free. Thanks for listening.